You can splash me.
Yes, we can do this, Katrina.
You can flip me upside down.
This is it. This is it.
You can make me go backwards.
We are doing this. We are so brave.
But do not drop me.
Open your eyes, Katrina! Open your eyes!
Hello everyone, I'm Katrina. Welcome to my channel if you're new. If you're not new, welcome the heck back. We interrupt this segment for a special announcement. Guys, have you heard the news? I dropped my first single ever on all platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, TikTok. If you can listen to music on it, my song is there. It is called Our Little Secret. Yes, I wrote it. Yes, I want you to hear it. Music by the incredible Nathan Menard. So please listen to it and tell me your thoughts. Now, back to our scheduled programming. All right, so I've said it before and I'll say it again. I love me some Disneyland. Although I went there last month and it didn't hit like it usually does. Can nostalgia wear off after a while? Because, I don't know, it was kind of sad. Like I didn't even want a churro. Speaking of anxiety, if you know me, you'll also know that I am a very fearful and anxious person. Love that for me. Like, there could be a weird speck on a grape and nothing is gonna stop my mind from firmly believing it is a microscopic pocket of lethal venom placed there by a Chilean drug lord to end my life. And you can bet I will eat around it. Do you know how difficult it is to eat around something on a grape? So with that said, anxiety has kept me from a lot of the finer things in life, specifically roller coasters. When it comes to roller coasters, I'm always the bag holder, and I will happily carry 6 bags and 3 hydro flasks, and I'm talking the giant ones, if that means that I don't have to undergo the bubble guts and weird organ movements that accompany riding a roller coaster, okay? When I was thinking about doing this video, it made me curious about just how many people are afraid of roller coasters. I Googled it, and specifically the American population, and it wasn't giving me a solid answer. So I took to the handy dandy Instagram and asked my followers if they were afraid of roller coasters or not. And these are the results that I got. It was 100 people that answered, so that should be pretty accurate to how the world feels. So I am not alone there, but you're here for a story, so let's get to it. The year was 2013. The month was December. The day was the 18th. I had gone to Disneyland with my little cousin Bella, who was 4 years old at the time. Do not forget that detail. That's what makes this story the humiliating tale that it is. We had done plenty of the kids' rides that day. We did the Dumbo ride, the fairy tale boats, and we even stepped it up to Cars, a ride I wouldn't have dared to go on at the tender age of 4. Keep in mind, it took 18 years for me to even get on Thunder Mountain and Space Mountain. I was 18 years old when I got on those rides and I was a nervous wreck. Literally in the line asking 6-year-olds if they had been on the ride just to like comfort myself. Well, after Cars, I asked Bella what ride she'd want to go on next. And to my surprise, this 4-year-old child says, Tower of Terror. Now, if you don't know what ride that is, it's because against the will of we the people, the ride and its name was changed to what we now know as Guardians of the Galaxy. If you have yet to ride on the likes of Tower of Guardians of the Galaxy, let me set the picture for you, okay? It is a massive hotel-like structure where the whole point is to take an elevator up to the top and then drop. Just drop. A free fall of impending doom. So when my little cousin was asking to go on this ride, I like immediately looked at my aunt and kind of gave her one of those looks like, oh, like a little bit Alexis look, like bless her heart, you know? And then I knelt down to Bella and I was like, Bella, I'm sorry, I don't think you're big enough to go on that ride. And my aunt in the back goes,
Yes, she is. It's her favorite ride. She's been on it multiple times.
and I was like, oh, has she? So I looked at Bella and she just was looking at me with that special smile on her face that she was sporting those days. And I'm like, all right, let's go. Mind you, I knew immediately I was not going on that ride. I do not like drops. You can splash me. You can flip me upside down. You can make me go backwards. But do not drop me. That's all I ask. That's all that ride is. And how a form of torture, quite frankly, was marketed as an amusement park ride is beyond me. So while we were waiting in line, I continuously knelt down to Bella and would say, "Hey Bella, just letting you know when we get to the ride, I am not going to go on. I'm going to wait for you outside, okay?" And she'd look at me with that smile and be like, "Okay." And I would remind her every 10 minutes, because you know how kids are. They have a selective memory. So I figured, that would do the trick. I was wrong. So we got to the part where it was time for me to grab the bags and exit the ride. And as I'm leaving, Bella starts bawling. I will never forget the sound. Screaming like someone had broken her little heart. Because I did. Y'all, I had just turned 19 years old that week. And a 4-year-old was crying because her 19-year-old cousin wouldn't get on the scary ride with her. I had never done the walk of shame, but that was my walk of shame moment. And I'll tell you, everyone in that line knew. Like, everyone knew what was going on. So that made it all the more sweet. But there was something that came of that walk of shame. Oh, poetry. And I realized as I was walking down, like, okay, the next time I come to Disneyland with Bella, I will not be letting her down again. I can't. The cries still make me shudder to this day. I was like, I can't do it. I'm gonna go on the ride. So, 4 months later, the year was 2014. The month was April. The day was the 9th. Bella's smile, still the same. But what would happen next would ensure that my life would never be. I knew that this was the day that I was going to ride the ride that I planned to go to my grave without riding. Yes, this would be the day where the bag holder becomes the rider. Sorry, I came up with that. I thought it was good, but whatever. But this time, I knew I had to bring backup, and my backup came in the form of a woman named Amy Basor. She didn't make much of a difference, to be honest, because she also hated the ride with a passion, but you know what they say about birds of a feather. And she offered moral support nonetheless. You guys, when I tell you the amount of courage that I had to muster up in the weeks prior to riding the ride that day, I don't even think you understand. When I tell you that I legitimately did not know if I would make it out of that ride with my life, I am not even exaggerating a little bit. And if you think I'm lying, you are truly underestimating the anxiety that resides within this body. Okay. You're listening to the girl that refused to go on Pirates of the Caribbean for years because of the drop on that. And if you've been on that ride, you know the drop pales in comparison to Guardians. I didn't know what was gonna happen up there. All I knew is I was prepared to die for the love of a 4-year-old girl who just wanted to go on her favorite ride with her favorite cousin. And that is where I learned that love is sacrifice. JK, I learned that from Jesus Christ. But this was a close second. So next thing you know, we're in line. And if you have ride anxiety like myself, you'll know that the anticipation of getting on the ride is almost worse than the ride itself. It's the bubble guts, it's the stomach and knots, it's the rapid heart rate that would land any senior citizen in the ER. It's the worst. So finally, the time arrived, and I'm getting nervous, just thinking about it. My watch is probably going to tell me to breathe in a second because my heart rate is going up. Tried as I might, nothing could have prepared me for the cold metal seats, the dark atmosphere, the claustrophobia of being in that little square space. It's so unappealing as a ride. I'm just like, why would anybody get on this? We strapped in and the ride began. All I know is Amy and I were in the corner singing Jesus Loves Me, grasping our clammy as hell hands together and just praying we would make it into heaven. I just remember thinking, like, this could be my last moments. I can't believe I'm gonna die virgin. Swear to goodness. Next thing you know, we were thrusted upwards at speeds I didn't know existed, and then dropped over and over and over again. The first drop was a doozy, but then after that, they became like pretty manageable, and I realized I could actually handle the most terrifying thing in the world to me. Let that be a lesson to all of you. I thought I lost the video, you guys. There is a video, but I found the footage that Amy had recorded, so enjoy.
Say goodbye to the real world.
When do we drop?
What happened here to dim the lights of Hollywood's brightest showplace is about to unfold once again.
We can do this, Katrina. This is it. This is it. We are doing this. We are so brave, Katrina. We are rock stars. We are so strong. This is so. Yes, I know. For the Bible.
5 people step through the door of an elevator.
This is awesome. This is awesome, Katrina. It's so much fun. Ready, Katrina? Open your eyes, Katrina! Open your eyes! It's so fun! This is so fun! This is so fun! This is actual fun! This is so fun, Katrina! This is so fun!
Have you ever seen a more tortured soul? And then there's Bella. Next thing you know, the ride was done, and as any good writer, I raced to the photo place where I snapped a picture with my phone. This is that photo, and guys, you cannot make this up. Like, this is too good. You're not ready. Okay, so let's start with my aunt. Here she is, having a jolly time. And let's pan to the 4-year-old. Emphasis on the number 4. She's smiling, having the time of her life, but what's she looking at? Oh, it's her 19-year-old cousin and her 18-year-old best friend experiencing what would become a little tea trauma in their lives. Okay, let's just take one more look at the full picture because it's too good. It's gold. So the happy conclusion to this story was that when we got off the ride, Bella looked at me with that special smile of hers and was like, "Can we do it again?" And I looked at Amy, and Amy looked at me, and if you've got to this point of the video, thank you so much for listening to my tale, and please drop a ride that you were terrified of until you got on it in the comment section below. I hope you're having a great time wherever you may be, and I hope you'll see me again in another video soon. Don't forget to listen to my song. I linked it in the bio description box. Bye guys.